Sorry, I'm so hungry. I'm somewhere in a nice hotel in Africa. I'm gonna show you later on. Very nice. But I'm so hungry. I need to go eat, but because I love you so much, I gotta bring this to you first before I go. You know, it's a matter of energy. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Things about energy. Sometimes it's the energy. If you don't do it right there, the energy is gonna be different, right? You know what I'm saying, right? That's exactly how I feel right now. I don't know how I feel right now. The United States of America is establishing a military base in Ivory Coast. Yes, this should explain everything. Yes. Now, why is this important? We're gonna find out just now. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. Let me put this hoodie down. It's nice. I know it's fly. It's got swag, but yeah. How do I look in this? Now, be honest. I look like a guy who could play in the movies. Anyway, beautiful stuff. Thank you for stopping by. You appreciate it. My name is Zack. You don't know me. I don't know you. Now you know my name. But for sure, if you watch this video till the end, we're going to love each other. Don't I look like your cousin? Well, you look like mine, right? Thank you very much. Look, we want you here. We love you here. I'm going to tell you a secret. If you look for news about the continent, the motherland, you're at the right place. You want to know about Uganda, Tanzania, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, you're at the right place. Look, you might find news here and there, people talking about African stuff. It's good, you know? Nah, but not this good. Okay, so if you're first time, please join us. Click on the button. It's called subscribe, number one. Please click on subscribe. Okay, number two, please click on like so we can push this video further. Everybody, like. Is it done? See my finger? Like. Great stuff. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. The US is establishing a military base in Côte d'Ivoire. Why is this important to us? This is very important, and I want you guys to know. I'm going to try to make it quick because I don't have much time and I'm not in my comfort zone. But we will talk about this. We will talk about this with our participant in a private group. Okay, so now the US is establishing a military base in Côte d'Ivoire. Here's Côte d'Ivoire on the map. It's also called Ivory Coast. Okay, sometimes Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, it's the same thing. Why? Because the USA was kicked out of Niger, a few months ago. But they don't want to go back to America. Obviously, they want to stay in the continent and continue their operations. Therefore, they needed to find a very close partner, not too far, nearby. Okay, Niger say you must live in the name of sovereignty. We are grown up, so we can look after ourselves. We don't need your help. Thank you very much. We don't need that. Côte d'Ivoire say yes, you can come in. So the US has been repositioning its force in West Africa to counter growing threats of Islamic militant from groups like Al Qaeda, ISIS. And Côte d'Ivoire has been selected, like a nice child. We select you. You look clever. You speak English with the British accent. You're the one we want. Yeah, you sound like you know a little bit of Europe. At least you've seen it on Google. So you can mention Manchester and Leeds. We choose you. So they choose Côte d'Ivoire because according to them, it's a strategic location for its new base. Now, many people are very unhappy about this and very worried. Why? Because of this guy, Ibrahim Traoré. Let's listen to what Ibrahim Traoré had to say a while back.
J'inviterai les gens donc à la vigilance parce que aujourd'hui, plus que jamais, les apatrides, les ennemis de la nation sont très actifs et vous pourrez le constater. Du côté de la lagune, ils sont réunis depuis plusieurs jours.
So, this is gonna come together like a movie. This is the brand new president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré. Very recently, Ibrahim Traoré made a speech saying, we know they are preparing themselves. They are trying to remake a 1987 event.
Leur objectif, c'est de faire vivre au Burkina Faso les événements de 87.
What happened in 1987? In 1987, this other man, his name is Thomas Sankara, he was president in Burkina Faso. His policies were simple. Burkina Faso first. Let's plant our own foods. Let's get our own things. Let's make our own clothes. No more needs to buy levers from the US. How about we make things for our own people? He was the first president to reduce his own salary. Yes, fellas, you wouldn't do that. He did it. He was the first president in Africa to push ladies into parliament and government. Yes, he did that. He was the first president to choose the dates per week where men will do everything, all duties. The men will go to the market, buy food. Men will wash the kids. Men will send the kid to school. Yes, that's the guy. Now, what happened? They didn't like him because he was promoting Africans with Africans. And they took him out. Using who? They used his own friend, best friend. This man right here. So be very careful with your best friend. That's my best friend. You don't know. Okay? Now, Ibrahim Traore is trying to redo what this man did. Thomas Sankara is walking into the steps of Sankara, trying to get independence, sovereignty for his people, asking French soldiers to leave his country because they had been there for a long time, doing absolutely nothing. Initially, they came supposedly to fight against terrorists, but they've shown to be unable to do it. Like a decade you've been here, but the terrorists are still here. Something is wrong. I mean, you go to a doctor for a disease, and after 2 weeks, you still have a headache. What do? You still go to the same doctor? No, you go change the doctor. That's exactly what Burkina Faso did. However, this is Niger. In Niger, they kicked out Americans. Okay? Niger did a very similar thing. For context, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, they're friends. They're actually brothers. I explain to you how. Because they are real brothers. Africans call each other brother, my brother, my brother. But in action, they're absent. When you go in trouble, they will not help you. When you need money, they disappear. Oh, yeah. But when it's time to criticize, they'll come criticize you. These are the actual brothers in Africa. Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. Why? When one of them decided we're going to get out of neo-colonialism, so we will not be part of this game where we are ruled by Europeans and Western nations, we actually want to profit our own people. We want to allow our people to profit from oil, from gas, from uranium, from diamond, from all the stuff that we have, and not send everything to Western nations, whilst nations are giving us a little bit of they give some money to the leaders to get them to shut up, whilst the population is suffering. These three countries say we're going to stand strong together and help one another. Now, Langley is this man, the American general, who went to Côte d'Ivoire to establish himself. Why is this a problem? Because shortly, a few days ago, he made a speech in the Senate saying this.
Absolutely, Chairman. I see this, and I don't mind calling them out, but Captain Tory and Burkina Faso, as they know that both, whether it's their gold reserves, that is all those proceeds are just in exchange to protect the junta regime.
So General Langley said to the Senate that Burkina Faso government is using the reserve gold for their own purpose by partnering with Russia and China. The goal is not to help the people of Burkina Faso. They are doing it for themselves, to maintain themselves. Talking about the junta, maintain themselves in power. Remember, Traore said they are preparing themselves in the lagoon. The lagoon is where? It's Côte d'Ivoire. They are preparing themselves in the lagoon to come and attack us. Why Côte d'Ivoire would allow this? Well, President of Côte d'Ivoire has never been a big fan of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Why? Because he's a very good friend to the French. But Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger kicked out the French. He's a fervent friend of the French. He hated us. He was ready to provide logistics and money to get these guys here, ECOWAS, okay, to come together and go and dethrone and fight these Burkina Faso and Niger. Let me say this again. The Côte d'Ivoire president was among the presidents that came together, putting money together, logistics, getting ready to go and attack Niger when the Nigerian government was overthrown. But they never did the same effort when Niger needed help with terrorism. You hear that? When Niger was riddled with terrorism, none of these African countries say, let's put money together and soldiers so we can go fight against terrorism, who are fighting our brothers. They never did that. But as soon as the people stood up and overthrew the president, then they said, no, let's go overthrow these people that have just overthrown the president. Because if you don't do it, you will incentivize people of your countries to follow through and do the same thing and overthrow you. This guy right here, this man here, was speaking about American leaving Burkina Faso. He said, why did we leave Burkina Faso again? If it was a real president, a strong president, we would have gone to Burkina Faso, and if they opened the defense system, we bombard and destroy them.
That they will have a full fighter pilot escort there, and if the Nigerian government or any other third world thug tries to even turn on their air defense systems, we should show those leaders and those thugs what the target package looks like on their houses and their family members, because it should not be Americans that are suffering because President Biden and Blinken are so embarrassed that their strategy in Africa failed that they're willing to let Americans' conditions deteriorate.
Yeah, this is a person talking about somebody else's country, like a sovereign country that says, I don't want you anymore. So you're going to go and destroy and bombard? That's crazy, isn't it? That's insane. Now, the problem is what? America lost its spot in Niger, where they used to do operations against terrorism. They have moved now, looking for another place. Where? In Côte d'Ivoire. Côte d'Ivoire is a fervent enemy of the AES. Côte d'Ivoire doesn't like them. Matter of fact, they blocked these countries when they came into power. You can see all these three countries, they are not bordered by the sea, so they have no access to the sea. The sea is very important because you have to operate. A country needs exportation and importation of goods in order to sustain a livelihood. Now, what's happened was when these three countries overthrew the government that was pro-West, these all other countries blocked them from accessing the sea. Côte d'Ivoire was one of them. And the president of Côte d'Ivoire, in an audio that leaked, said something along the lines of, they're not going to do good. Don't worry. Give them 2-3 weeks. They are a friend of the Russians. They're not, don't worry. They're going to fall. People are going to rise. They're going to overthrow them. Because if we squeeze them hard enough and there's no food coming in, no medication, the people are going to stand up.
Je vois le président de la commission aujourd'hui avant qu'il n'aille au Burkina.
D'accord.
Voilà
Okay.
comment les choses se passent au Mali.
Bon, malgré tout ce qu'ils veulent faire croire,
Oui,
la situation reste très difficile pour eux. Vraiment, ça va être extrêmement difficile
oui,
de tenir encore 3 à 4 semaines
oui.
financièrement.
C'est ça.
Donc, la pression, elle est vraiment là, elle est réelle, elle monte.
Oui,
Économiquement, les prix ont flambé,
oui,
y inclut les denrées alimentaires. C'est difficile aujourd'hui de se procurer du riz à un prix normal, du sucre.
oui,
Tout ce qui est ciment aussi a été affecté.
oui,
Même la main-d'œuvre commence à se plaindre un peu parce que les gens ne travaillent pas beaucoup.
oui,
Donc, je pense qu'ils ont beaucoup de pression,
oui.
mais bon, ils essayent de gérer ça.
Faire croire qu'il n'y a pas de problème.
Voilà,
Quoi.
c'est le contraire. Quoi.
Parce que, mais c'est vraiment, on voit qu'ils n'ont pas d'économistes parmi eux, quoi. Comment
Mais c'est
ils
ça, c'est
pensent
ça.
ceux qui
Oui,
vont
oui.
un pays
Oui,
qui a 30 à 40% de son budget financé par l'extérieur?
Oui.
Ils pourront
Non,
payer
ils n'en
les
ont pas.
salaires 1 ou 2 mois, mais c'est tout. Après,
Ouais.
ils pourront même
Mais-
plus payer les salaires.
Supposons en
Ils
février,
ont
ils pourront même pas.
1000 milliards d'emprunts régional,
Absolument.
donc en 2021. Mais ils n'auront
Ouais.
pas ça. Comment ils vont faire?
Ils n'ont plus accès à ça. Oui, absolument. Le ministre des Finances a fait sortir une lettre il y a une dizaine de jours
Oui.
où il menaçait carrément les banques commerciales, quoi,
Oui, mais
à
ça va
souscrire
rien changer,
au titre. Oui. Et puis il a insisté pour qu'ils souscrivent physiquement. Voilà, donc ils mettent un peu de pression sur les banques où l'actionnariat malien est le plus important, quoi.
Oui,
En
oui.
l'occurrence, la BMS.
La Banque
Mais
de
bon,
solidarité et
voilà,
puis,
exactement.
et puis la Banque de
Oui.
développement. Oui, oui.
Voilà. Bon, c'est terrible. C'est la seule. Je pense que maintenant, Choguel a pu trouver un moyen de faire adhérer une bonne partie de la population à un combat que lui seul est en train de mener, quoi. Maintenant, c'est le combat contre la France, c'est le combat contre l'Occident. Donc, il y a un certain nombre de gens qui sont derrière eux pour ça. Mais
Oui,
qui
bien
commencent
sûr.
aujourd'hui à réaliser que
Oui.
économiquement, financièrement, ça ne va pas, ça ne peut pas aller.
Mais ils sont idiots. La Russie est la 11e puissance économique aujourd'hui. La
Oui,
Russie
oui,
n'a
voilà.
même pas les moyens du Canada ou de la Corée. Vraiment, c'est pas la Russie qui va régler leurs problèmes. C'est vraiment, on doit être des naïfs et des ignorants.
Ils sont très naïfs. Ils sont vraiment très, très naïfs. Et il n'y a pas de gens qui réfléchissent autour d'eux et puis sur ces aspects économiques-là. Mais la réalité, vraiment, est en train de les rattraper. Là, je pense qu'ils seront écrasés par ça d'ici 2 semaines maximum.
Je comprends pas. On dirait qu'ils sont tombés sur la tête.
Oui.
Et
Mais
puis,
tout ça,
c'est pas Choguel l'élément vraiment important. Hein. Ils le prennent plus au sérieux, mais c'est plutôt, ils l'utilisent, mais c'est surtout le ministre de la Défense et le ministre de l'Intérieur.
Oui, en tout cas, la défense, j'ai toujours su qu'il était un peu, le plus jusqu'au boutiste, quoi.
Oui, c'est un rusophone. Il pense que quand il va voir que la Russie peut pas les aider, en dehors de leur faire des promesses et d'envoyer quelques vieux matériels. Écoute,
je suis en train de faire un point.
Bon,
si j'ai l'occasion.
Oui, non, j'essaierai de te voir ça avant de, je pars, je crois, c'est mercredi ou jeudi, mais
the people are going to stand up. Now, the question is this. General Langley is in the Côte d'Ivoire. They have chosen a town named Odiene, located in northern east part of Côte d'Ivoire, near the border with Mali and Guinea. Near the border with Mali and Guinea as a site for a base. That's their new location. It's strategically positioned to monitor and respond to security threat in the Sahel and Gulf of Guinea region. Now, security threat to who? America? Okay. Now, you're fighting security threat to America in Africa, where people want you to leave the country? Question mark. Now, the base is expected to facilitate drone operation, provide logistical support for counter-terrorism across West Africa. Now, some West Africans want it, but do everybody want it? Clearly not. Now, the question is this one. Côte d'Ivoire and American are going to be doing training together. What is the training for? Is the training only for counter-terrorism? Or is the training actually what Burkina Faso president has spoken about? Saying they are getting ready to come and try emulate what happened in 1987, which is overthrowing the government. The US has been enhancing its military cooperation with Côte d'Ivoire through joint training exercise and equipment support. In 2024, AFRICOM allocated over $65 million in military aid to Côte d'Ivoire, focusing on terrorism and border security initiative. This development underscored the US commitment to strengthening its partnership with West Africa and adapting its military presence in response to shifting geopolitical dynamic in the region. Now, what I have to say here, fellas, I think it's very interesting to see. Africans love calling each other brother. Brother, my brother. Like, but you're ready to sell your brother at the highest beta as soon as possible. That's why I don't like your stuff. Oh, my brother. No. Don't call me. I'm not your brother. Okay, my brothers are here. They've proven themselves in this group. If you click on this group, you see a list of my brother because they're here for the real thing. They're not just, okay, let me see this guy is talking what, let me criticize what he's saying. No, I'm not your brother. Okay, brotherhood is proven. Brotherhood, you work on brotherhood. Okay, you invest into brotherhood. It's very sad to see that Côte d'Ivoire, not the people, but the leadership, clearly now has a direction. Now people are asking question, is this just a simple exercise? Or is this something that makes sense? I mean, let's remember, Langley made a speech saying Burkina Faso is going the wrong way. Côte d'Ivoire made a speech saying Burkina Faso and Mali and Niger are going to fall. Russia is going to do nothing. Number 3, Niger kicks out Americans out of this base. Number 4, Americans are now in Côte d'Ivoire. Number 5, they select a place that's very close to Mali, where they can see Niger, Mali and everything. Number last, Ibrahim Traoré said they're preparing something. Is this truth or not? Do you think this is truth? Or do you think this is paranoia? Let me know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure. And lastly, why do every time America has something to do with Africans, they will use a black face? And this is not only America. God bless.